Coming up on this episode of the Spiro podcast.
People stick with what they know.
Oh.
Yeah, right? And don't we know that with real estate agents? They really tend to stick with what they know, whether it's good or bad for their business.
Mm-hmm.
The current way feels familiar, and going to the unfamiliar creeps up that big F word, right?
Which F word?
Fear, Craig.
It is a four-letter F word.
It is a four-letter F word, right?
Welcome to the Spiro podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. With your hosts, Todd Kivimaki and Craig Magrum.
Hi, and welcome to the Spiro podcast, managing your real estate photography and videography business. Spiro is a software platform. It's designed to not just manage your day-to-day business by giving you a really efficient software tool, but really to help you scale and grow your real estate media business as well. I'm Craig Magrum, back this week. I've been kind of in and out the last couple of weeks. Busy season has taken hold, and I have been absolutely slammed. So thank you to Todd and Shannon and Steve and the Spiro team for allowing the flexibility for me to kind of come in and out, but it's good to be back. And speaking of Shannon, it's the Shannon and Craig show this week. Welcome, Shannon Landers.
Woohoo! Yay!
Right. It's fun.
Spending time with you, buddy. So this is awesome.
It's fun stuff. We got a fun topic to talk about. Well, it's a topic, Shannon, that's making me feel a little old.
I don't disagree with that, Craig.
So we'll get into that. Let's just say it's kind of centered around old dogs learning new tricks in this business, right? And
that's how I feel. Yeah.
We'll kind of do a soft launch of the topic of that. But first, before we get to that, we always like to give some Spiro updates. And Shannon, what's going on with the software?
Yeah. So lots of exciting stuff, actually. Todd has teased a little bit on the super user group. Again, if you're not in the Spiro super user group on Facebook, please find it. Like, you can search Spiro super user group and join, and we will add you. You don't have to be a Spiro user to be in that. There's actually quite a few people that they've lived in that channel for a year before they made the switch. So we just want to welcome the community and make sure everybody has an outlet to run ideas by, conversate, and have that, just sense of help. You have help at your fingertips whenever you need it. So I'll just remind everybody to definitely do that. Steve we'll have Steve give you guys a link in some of this podcast stuff he sends out to that. So the other thing, so we've got a couple things. So he's teased the API. We know this is what he's been teasing. So we are selecting probably 10 to 15 companies to be the beta testers in this first run. Again, you can't release an API without testing and making sure things go well, so we don't inherently mess something else up in the system, right? So we shall get those betas in, and our goal hopefully then soon is to give people an API to do what they want to do with their data, or to help them operate and run their business, right? And then we have a really cool feature being released on the 23rd this month as well. And that could shift a week. So don't hold me to that date, everybody. That's just the target point right now. But we are doing like at mentions in the system, Craig.
That's kind of cool.
You're going to be able to, like, the admin's going to be able to put a message in to the, whoever, and it's going to be really great. So we're excited about that. We know a lot of people talk about using like a separate Slack or a separate this, and they're finding that they would love to just be able to do a lot of that in the system. So we were bringing those two things. We have some really huge things on the horizon coming too. I won't necessarily tease too much there, but much of what a lot of users have asked for will be coming later this year as well.
I like the at mentions feature. I have found over the years of 20 bazillion different platforms that there are out there to communicate, and trying to patchwork things together to make a system for your business can be really overwhelming. And so if you can bring all those things into one place, it makes, going back to the topic of this week, the old dogs trying to learn new tricks, it makes things a lot easier for you to not have to keep track of so many different platforms. So that's
so
really cool.
True.
Yeah.
We really look at Spiro as the future where you can do everything in one platform. We continue to work with partners to get them in the system to help us help especially for, I think, a lot of the solo photographers, or they
Hmm.
have maybe one. They don't have a huge team of people helping them with customer service calls, things like that, right? And so just however we can build the system as a platform to operate your business, I think will be huge. And that's what we're leaning to in the future. How can we help our photographers make money out of the system? And how can we make sure that every company has the ability and the use that they want in the system? So,
Thank you
yeah.
to you beta testers. I'm thinking back to my early days, and I had the privilege of being the very first outside beta tester of
Yep.
the Spiro software before it was even called Spiro.
Yep.
And man, even just the early version made my job so much easier. And it was exciting to kind of see those things that weren't publicly available at my fingertips to help me get my business going. So beta testers now, it's the same thing. These new features, it's kind of exciting to see and use and try out. And hey, this works really nice, this doesn't, and provide that feedback to build a better tool that
Yes.
ultimately is going to help you. So thank you,
Yes.
beta testers. We appreciate you.
100%. And by getting this API done, it allows us to do a lot of things. So,
Mhm.
and maybe even then feed into maybe some sort of Spiro AI inside the system where they can literally just ask questions. And yeah, I know. So, oh, I'm dropping too much. Todd's gonna get mad. Um, but no, again, it's a great year. We've got a lot of cool things cooking. We've made some great hires in the engineering department, and we are just getting heads down and working hard for all of our clients. So yeah, it's
Good
fun. So if you're a
deal.
user, thank you. And really, I like to say that Spiro is the company powered by community,
Mhm.
because I really feel we all work every day to see how we can make Spiro a better platform for all. And I really truly feel our clients care about each other. That's why we see so much in that super user group of them leaning on each other. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's fun. It's fun. I can't believe. So guess what? I'll be here 2 years in a couple weeks
Already?
already. What
Wow.
happened?
That's awesome. I hope you're still having fun.
I am still having fun. It is me though. I tend to just try to have fun no
Period. Right?
matter what. Uh,
No matter where you are.
yeah, yeah.
And that's
So,
what we love about you, Shannon. So, all
oh, well,
right.
thank you. All right. Well, let's
Yeah.
get into this topic today, because I think
Yeah.
we are gonna I can see them already in the car nodding their heads like, oh yes. And then we're gonna have some people go, these old people are crazy. And that's okay. That's totally fine. But Craig, today we're gonna talk about the human element. And there's a book called The Human Element, and I'll detail that in a minute.
Okay.
But we've been talking a lot about AI, right? On
Hmm.
episodes. We've had Matt come. He's incredible, smartest human being, I swear. And I think when I talk about AI and I talk about it having to do things for me, I literally clam up and I'm just like, no, no, I have a communications degree, Craig.
Hmm.
I want to talk
Yep.
to people.
Even this introvert communications major, I would rather talk to people.
It's just who we are, right? And that's okay. Like we said, we got a lot of tech people that really like to lean into the tech. And so I
Hmm.
think what would be good today is for us just kind of I'm going to bring this human element, some theories into the conversation, but really just talk about, AI is great, but it might not be for everything in your business.
Hmm.
And it's honestly great until it isn't. You know, like it's just for some, AI could be the friction um, that's happening with the agents. So
Hmm.
I think it's important to remember, why do we start building businesses, especially real estate media businesses? Was to get into relationships with our clients, right?
Hmm.
Build long lasting loyalty relationships with our clients. It's not to just have automation run everything behind the scenes, right? So, Craig, have you read the book? It's called The Human Element: Overcoming the Resistance That Awaits New Ideas.
I haven't, but it sounds like one I'd be interested in.
I tell everybody, if they have not read this book, this is a great book.
Who's it by?
It's Lauren Nordgren. I can
Okay.
probably butcher these names, and then David Chantal.
Okay.
So if you just look at, you can literally Google the Human Element book, and it shall pop up. Okay.
Okay.
So great, easy read too. It's a very quick, easy read because he tells a lot of stories in it and examples of things. But one of the main things that he really kind of talks about is friction, right? Because why do people not buy? Why do people not come back? Why that it's typically friction. So we are definitely going to kind of break down real quick these types of friction that come from the book. Okay.
Perfect.
So the first one is inertia, right?
Okay.
People stick with what
I
they
know.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And don't we know that with real estate agents? They really tend to stick with what they know, whether it's good or bad for their business.
Mm-hmm.
The current way feels familiar, and going to the unfamiliar creeps up that big F word, right?
Which F word? So
Fear, Craig.
it is a
Fear.
4-letter F word.
It is a 4-letter F
Ooh.
word, right? Yes.
We keep it clean here, folks.
We
It's
do.
family.
Which, if anybody knows me in real life, that's pretty impressive that I keep it clean here. I have a jar at the house, and the kids call me out on it all the time. So it's pretty bad. So yeah, inertia. People stick with what they know. Okay.
Mhm.
And the second one is effort. People tend to follow the path of least
resistance. Yeah.
resistance, right? Don't you
Don't
do that?
don't
Just
make me learn a
daily?
new system. I got too much going on. I don't have time to learn something new. Even if I can hear all the excuses now. Yeah.
Yes, right? Because if adopting that new thing is too many steps, or it's a new login, or it's a change of process, right? And I will say this is we get a lot of people that transition from one platform to another, right, to
That's
us.
exactly what I was thinking of.
This is that same, all these things matter to that client moving, right? A lot of times we see clients not move until the pain has gotten so bad that the idea of switching seems easier than the pain of staying where
That sounds really familiar. I think
they're at,
maybe
doesn't
Todd
it?
and I have talked about that before.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep. All right. Third is emotion, right?
We're
And
not
I know this.
emotional. We completely logical, Shannon. Our clients are completely logical.
Yes.
No, emotion
Yeah,
doesn't play into this.
I know. And so, I've done a lot of great reflection in my life as a leader and how I lead and all these things. And we all know I'm a very large extrovert. I very
No,
much want to
no.
do, hey, right? Or have these great ideas. Oh, we should do this. We should do that. And honestly, I've learned in my life, sometimes when I do that, this emotion kicks in, and that actually creates anxiety for the people around me. Because they're like, oh, here we go. What are we doing? Right. And so it's very valid. A new system or a new process might be better,
Mhm.
but people can be uncertain, embarrassed, exposed, maybe because they're like, oh, maybe I feel like I'm not doing everything the right way, and so I don't. People want to see that. And so emotion, obviously, and in real estate, right? We have a saying on the realtor side: you keep your buyers emotional and your sellers logical. That is kind of these frictions play in any sort of sales, any sort of business. And the last one is reactance. So people resist when they feel forced,
Mhm.
right? Right. If I said, Craig, I am making you come to work for Spiro only, and that wasn't what your heart wanted you to do, I look at that and say, oh, this is great. Craig will want, right? But you would have some reactance to feeling forced to, well, this is just what I'm doing. I don't have an opinion. My
Shannon, you can pry this camera out of my cold, dead hands.
see, exactly. So we really get all four of these now, right? Like these are very easy things that happen daily. This happens with my children. This happens with my friendships. This happens in every relationship you have, whether it's a business, friend, family relationship. These emotions happen. because we're all humans. And these are some of the human elements that we have, right? So, so the book is a really great example of kind of some of these, okay? And they talk about the instant cake mix problem.
That's an interesting illustration. Okay.
I know. So when they came out with instant cake mix, it was just add water and bake.
For the record, folks, that was before Shannon and I were born. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. We're not that old, Craig, right? Like,
Not that old.
not that old. Okay. So the instant cake was super easy. Just add water and bake. But it didn't fly off the shelves. People, what? What? Well, people didn't love it at first because it felt too easy. Like, wait a minute, it's like that too good to be true moment, right? And so it really felt that way, and that they didn't really feel like they made the cake, right? And if anybody's made a cake from scratch and you've measured the flour and the sugar and you've actually whipped all that stuff up and done it, it'll take you a good hour just to prep to put it in the oven, right? So this is a 2-minute whip and go, but people just didn't feel like they made the cake. So they fixed what they changed is adding an egg and some oil, right?
What?
Yes.
That's why they did that?
That is why they switched it. So and that one step made people feel actually involved. And if you go to your grocery store now, how many instant cakes, cupcakes, recipes do you see on the shelf?
You still see plenty, but yeah, they all require the egg, milk, water, whatever that you
Yes.
add. But see, I would have thought that was because those are perishables. Although I
Oh.
suppose science has overcome all that probably. Anyway, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. I literally made pancakes this morning, Shannon, but I grew up with my mom always buying Bisquick, and it was the add milk, egg, vegetable oil.
Yep.
But I'm kind of going to break the point. I don't mean to. I'm sorry.
Break it.
I've gone backwards, and I've gone to grandma's fluffy pancake recipe that you have to build it all yourself, the flour, the sugar. And the difference is the baking powder. It does make those pancakes fluffier than Bisquick pancakes.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and for me, Craig, like we'll get on a small tangent. I'm not supposed to have gluten, right? Like they say celiac, but it's more of a gluten intolerance because if I have a little, it's So for me now, they have all these gluten-free batters and stuff like that, and so that like for me removed the friction that I had eating sweets, which probably was better for me to just not eat them. Let's be honest, but if I wanted a cupcake or a cake, right, we now have an easier path to just buy that mix as well and make them, right? So,
but getting back to your point, you're still involved in part of that process.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So, I mean, we should probably point out, okay, the listeners are probably like, you guys talk about cake. Like, can we get to some meat for me, please? Right? I'm sure that's what we're thinking. So we will. So how does this relate to real estate media? Okay. Well, automation is great for a lot of things, right, Craig?
It is.
Booking, delivery, payments, right? All these things, very easy. You book your appointment, take care of, boom, right? Emails, reminders, instructions, right? Our getting ready guide, right?
It's wonderful.
Right there for people to see if they ever open it and look at it.
Right.
But these things automated, people like that, right? And agents, I can just go book when I like at midnight if I want to. Yeah, great, right? That removed the friction, right? Because they're like, oh yeah, I don't mind placing an order on myself, right? Like that's good. And you can even automate some follow-ups, right? Just, hey, we're here. Hey, we're here. If you need me just to be top of mind, that is great. But if we think about the add the egg moment, where do the agents get to add some context, right? So when an agent is connecting, you're removing friction when you're saying, hey, tell me about the listing. What is important about it? What do you want to showcase, right? Because then what becomes a very standard process just got personalized to them.
Are you talking with that question of tell me about the house? Is that within the context of still the automated process of, say, placing the order? Or is
It can, right? right? We could, and we have many clients that have a question. Hey, is there anything else you want us to know specifically about this property? So you're breaking some friction along the process, right?
Okay.
The client's ordering, they get to this question. Oh, actually, yes, the kitchen is beautiful. I really want to highlight that. That
Hmm.
is the main focus of the home, right? And it lets the agent then, right? Hey, backyard, kitchen, cellar, like here's what we're doing, right? I can't tell you how many times I would have back at WOW some big clients get some big listings and they didn't go on to place an order. They called me,
Hmm.
Shannon, I have this huge listing coming. We need to see what's the best way to market it, right? I
Right.
need you, right? You can't let automation break that moment,
Yeah.
because that is when the agent gets so loyal to you because they need you to help them market that home, right?
Right.
Or themselves, right? I shouldn't just say listings because it, again, brand media is huge as well right now, right? But even if all the AI can help with some of the easy automation stuff, not cause friction, we let the agent feel a part of the process still. Even though it's right online and happening, they're going, oh, these guys care about this actual listing, right? And that is great. And great service means an agent gets an easy process, but it still feels familiar to them.
What's going through my head right now is automation is a great efficiency maker, but from the client's perspective, growing up in the sales and marketing track of education that and experience that I had, the thing that got pounded into my head was people buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
If I have a cold, emotionless transaction with a business where there's no human connection that I've built a relationship with, I'm not going to be as loyal to that as I am to a person that has taken time to serve me well. Sweetwater Sound, if people are familiar with Sweetwater, is a great example of that. You, no matter how small your purchase, you get assigned a person that will follow up on the sale and make sure that you're happy with it. And then they do hound you a little bit, but they you can tell they use a CRM because they have my name, they have my purchase history. Hey, how did that whatever product was work out for you? Are you happy with? And I became a fan of Sweetwater without even really having met my person in person, but they made a phone call to me afterwards and they'll check in every once in a while. So yeah, I see I see where you're going with this.
Absolutely. And I think the bigger point here, and I've actually been kind of saying this in a lot of conversations lately, real estate media companies need to be smart about what they're introducing with AI and automation.
Hmm.
Because what you don't want to do is use automation to disappear from the relationship.
Right.
You want it to protect time, reduce friction, create more room for the human moments that actually build loyalty, right? That is, I think, from what I really want people to take away from this friction section and kind of talking about this. We always joke and say agents hate change. Well, really, as humans, we all hate change.
Yeah, I would say it's not just agents.
It isn't, but the real estate agent, they're dealing with laws changing, compliance changing, sellers' behavior, buyers' behavior. I think we always need to remember what's all the things that are making the agent emotionally act in a way. Um, and when a media company really does that and gets in that relationship with the client, like, hey, let me help you. You've got a lot of listings on your plate right now. Are there any that you need touched up to remarket that aren't sold? Like how can we help you take and remove any friction and add a positive emotion where you're going to win a client for life from the media side? So just kind of the, bigger point there. So I got another real life example.
Okay. All right.
All right. And I think this was we've seen this flow in and out from COVID. QR codes.
Okay. Yep.
Do you remember when QR codes first came out about 13, 14 years ago?
I
And
do.
especially in real estate, they put them on the signs, but the technology wasn't necessarily there to scan that all the time. And so they kind of fizzled, right? Like,
Hmm.
and then COVID hit,
They came roaring back.
roaring back, right? Like, I mean, there was a QR code on everything, right? We didn't want paper. So let's think about QR codes for menus, because if I remember well, when they actually let you go back into the restaurants, everybody just had a QR code. They were limiting the touch.
Hated that.
Yes, yes, right. So they're great. This is a great example of friction because they technically solved a business problem, right?
Okay.
The restaurants didn't have to pay to update their menus all the time. They could do it digitally. And the QR code would work with any updates to their menus. It would be an easier, more cost efficient way to deal with emails. There's fewer physical touch points, lower label strain, faster ordering. They made a lot of sense. And especially during the pandemic when we felt like contact was not a good thing, right? So we didn't get
Hmm.
sick. We shifted and said, okay, that's fine. I'll look on my phone. But people hate technology. There are people that hate it. And I think of my 86-year-old grandma who has dementia. If she went to go eat at a restaurant and had to use a cell phone that she doesn't have, she didn't have a phone like this, right? I'm holding up my Samsung, by the way, for those listening. Yes, I use a Samsung, not an iPhone. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. She would not be able to see the menu, right? Like that would not work for her. That would cause her so much friction. She might leave the restaurant,
Yeah.
right? Like, so we just have to remember that sometimes we force a change on people, and then that resistance is so strong because that again that's reactance to the force. Okay, so and imagine this whole like experience, right? You sit down to eat, and instead of having that human moment where you're like, hey, welcome to our restaurant, these are some of our features today, here's some hot items on the menu, right? That connection that we as humans desire and want to have, it's scan a QR code and place your order.
Cold, unemotional, not a great human experience.
And I'm not getting paid to work that, right? I'm not getting paid to place my order. And if I go sit down inside somewhere to eat, like that, I'm all right with the kiosk at McDonald's. That's fine. That's easy. Okay. But when it comes to me sitting down at a restaurant to want to eat, I want a menu, Craig, right?
Hmm.
I wanna feel it. I want to look at it. I want to flip it over 100 times and I'm gonna decide what I want to eat. Right. Because so you've made the customer work, you're interrupting their dining experience, what they think they're gonna get. Why do I go out to eat? Because I don't want to do it at home.
I want it
If we're
easy.
going out to eat, it's because I didn't feel like cooking at home tonight, right?
Yeah.
So this is a great example of just how QR codes now, fast forward 6 years later, menus are back at the restaurants primarily. And QR codes are great for a lot of things, and especially in real estate, they are great. But for that experience at the restaurant, there's too much friction happening. There's
Hmm.
too much things, and people felt like they were just getting some cheap customer service, and the restaurant truly didn't care about their relationship with that client, right?
It was the wrong application for the technology,
Yes,
wrong tool for the
exactly.
job.
Wrong tool for the job, 100%. All right, so let's flip. Since COVID, what has caught on? Self checkouts at grocery
Okay.
stores and right? You still have the option to let somebody ring you out, but now you have an option to check yourself out if you so choose with a small order, right?
Hmm.
So you're not forced one way or the other.
That's a good point.
You have both of them in front of you, and maybe one day you have two things, and self checkout's great. I promise you, when I do the big store shopping, I do not do self checkout.
I'm
You
with you.
stand in line,
I'm with you.
get on the cart, right? But it's a choice, okay? And this has really gone to many businesses and people, and they slowly introduced it. I don't know if you remember. I remember Mike Kroger. They started with like 2 self scanners,
Hmm.
and like a few months later, there was 4. Then they tore down my little Kroger, which was the saddest day of my life. So I still had a little, like not super Kroger where everything's expensive. I had my little baby Kroger. Um, and so they redid the store, and now there's 8 kiosks, right? One on one side, 4 on the other, 4 and 4, and plenty of people working in the middle too. So again, they slowly introduce it. They gave customers the choice. It allows you to even train those customers how to use things over time, right? There's always somebody right there to help you, right?
Mhm.
At the checkout. And so that allowed that replacement of maybe having to have 12 cashiers. Now you can have 4 and you have the option, but people still do the traditional checkout if they want to. So that's just another great example about automation. When it's guided, not forced, customers adopt the self checkout and self serving things when it suits what they're doing. So to our clients, they go on your order page to order, right? Our clients, I guess I should have said. They go on, they order, that's easy, they like it. They can do it on their own time, right?
Yeah.
And that is definitely how automation can work. So, and if you think about it, with real estate media companies, they're really just like the grocery stores trying to keep a few of the traditional checkout lanes, right? You got it. Nothing ever fits into all these perfect moments, but if you have a complicated listing, if your seller's nervous, there's a tight deadline, a custom request, or just a high value client, we need to make sure they still have that traditional lane.
Mhm.
Hey, you can call me anytime about any listing that you might, need extra assistance with. Don't feel like you just have to place your order and not be able to communicate
Right.
with us. Every media company should make sure their clients, even if you're solo, they can call you and they can get what they need, or shoot you an email and you respond and they get what you need. Okay.
Right.
New systems and tech adoption isn't about just having better tools. It's about helping customers build trust in the new process. We do this a lot on the onboarding side of Spiro. Our Spiro onboarding and training program helps reduce these frictions, right? We set up the account for the clients. We teach them then how to use the system and how to change it in the future, and they learn the system. We have a 4 to 6 week kind of program that helps them transition their clients from one to the next. We often tell them, yes, you're going to replace your booking link, but if you have a couple high end clients that you want to wait, we you can communicate to those clients, this is your order page for right now. There's a lot of ways, but that's what the onboarding team does. It helps remove these frictions and helps the client build a nice ramp to them switching their agents to a new program.
Basically, when it comes to AI or any new technology, it doesn't have to be an either or. It can be a both and, or should be a both and. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I mean, great systems do not replace the relationship, Craig. They strengthen it because it's a good, easy process, right? But it cannot replace the relationship. So AI can handle the repeatable things, those moments, online ordering, scheduling, so the text message communication that goes out, right? Letting the clients know, hey, we're on our way. We'll be there for your appointment.
Mhm.
Um, but adoption of all this stuff, especially with agents, really works when they feel guided in the process, right? And not pushed aside. If you guide them in, you reduce that friction, those emotions, and they're like, oh, this is great. I love using this, right? Now, not everybody. We all have the 80-year-old agent still in our pipeline, right? And again, that is where we're saying these systems and creating too much automation will cause friction for that agent.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you don't do it as a business, but maybe you reach out to that agent and say, hey, we've changed our system, but for you, you call us and place your orders and we have, right? So you still have to think of the people. So really, as I think about all this AI, Craig, and I know you're going to share in this opinion, like it's great for the good it can do. but it cannot and should not do everything or be the end all be all. And I know we have some real tech people listening going, Shannon, Craig, you're crazy. I love all those things. We don't disagree with you. We're just reminding you that we're humans.
And in the industry we're in, with the client type we have, realtors live on relationships. They
Yeah.
have to build relationships with their sellers. That can't be automated. So that's the world they live in and the language they speak. So their vendors need to be relationship driven as well. That's the language they speak. If you try and speak a foreign language in terms of building business with them, they're not going to understand you. They're not going to have the relationship. They're not going to connect. So yeah, bring in the AI tools for the automated type tasks, the repeatable, like Shannon said, but keep that human element where you're building a real relationship with them as well.
Yes. I promise you don't want to build a media company on a transactional
No.
side. That how much effort do you have to put into getting new clients, Craig?
How much effort do I put into getting new clients?
Like if you the work of getting a new client in, like how the effort and
Yeah,
the time spent
there's
to
effort. Yeah, it does take time.
yeah.
It-
So you don't want to lose that client the moment
Right.
you get them because everything was automated and they felt like they had no human touch.
Yeah. I'm still old school where with new clients, especially when season's a little bit slower, I'm in that hybrid role where I'm shooting. And so it can get a little difficult, but I try to make sure I hand write a thank you. Yes, we can send an automated thank you email for your first order, but as the business development specialist for my market, I need to do more than just a cold email that comes from our system that I didn't write. That's why I'm still hesitant to have AI write my personal things. I'm not hesitant. I don't do it because there's a voice to your writing that reflects your personality. So I want that handwritten note to be able to go to them and they see my handwriting and they hear my voice and they see that I care about them and that I took the time to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, what I was gonna you took the time they took the time to do this. It isn't necessary like about the card or the thing. It's oh my gosh, this guy took time out of his busy day. And again, because if they're doing what they should be doing the same things to their
Right.
people,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like, shoot, there you go. Go have a coffee party and invite some agents and say, hey, we're just gonna sit and write thank you cards.
Ooh. Oh, Shannon, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, right? Why? Because they all need to do it. You just call it thank you hour or something and let agents drop in and let's write thank you cards.
I might do that this winter. That sounds
You could even bring the thank you card, just some general ones. Like you could
Yeah.
suggest to them to get some branded ones. But
yeah.
honestly, I actually think with thank you cards, the less branded, the better. Because then it seems special. It doesn't seem
even more personal and not corporate-y.
correct. Yes. Yes.
That is a genius idea, Shannon.
It just came to me right now. So everybody got it live because that was just the kind of you said it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you could totally do that in the winter, especially because they're trying to communicate to plant seeds for spring too.
You're combining my two favorite things: coffee meetings with agents and handwritten thank yous.
I mean, everybody should steal it. Go do it.
There we go.
Probably can't do it right now. That's valid. But as you get into
I'm totally doing this. Late fall.
Well, you could do Christmas cards or Thanksgiving cards. You could make it like, hey, you want to, something we did at the office, which we really loved is, so we do a Thanksgiving meal, right, for a meeting at the office, right? And a lot of media or a lot of real estate companies do these little things, right? Well, what we did at one of them is we actually helped build pop buys. Do you know what pop buys are? Like, so
pot, like a chicken pot pie?
Oh. It's an industry term. They call them pop buys, which just means you're going to pop by somebody's house and drop off a little gift.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Like that's pop buys.
Okay.
Yeah. BYS, right? Pop buys. And
so
we made, like when you, sorry guys, see, I'm old and words escape me. So Craig, you got to bear with me.
Older than you.
I know. But the female element matters too, because they, I had a hysterectomy and when I went under, they must have stole something out of my brain too, because
My Lord.
Nothing's worked right since. All right.
Shannon.
TMI. Sorry, everybody. Okay. They know when I'm on, everybody I think is prepared for this. So hopefully they're good. But we made, when you put in a pot and you simmer it and it smells like the simmer pots, I guess. But we made the stuff. So we had a recipe of like an orange and it, sees all the stuff that you needed to then just drop in a pot and
Okay.
let your whole house smell amazing, right? And it was fall branded, like we did a fall cinnamony smell, right?
Didn't they call
So-
that potpourri or something?
Yeah, but this one you literally just put in a pot and you
Right.
just dump it in a pot.
It's your
and
own.
simmer.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah. So we had an event where we made these. So we
Mhm.
all came in and we all made like 20 of them. And the week before Thanksgiving, and we had little cute notes on it. It was like, we're so thankful. I don't know. I came up with something clever, right? And the agents went and dropped them off at some of their previous clients.
Okay.
And those are pot buys. That's what they're called. And so
Okay.
that's another great moment where they need to be doing these things. Agents are notoriously terrible about carving out the time in their
Yeah.
schedule to do these things. So it's a great fall event. So you could even do that. Like, hey, I'm thankful for all of you. I'm going to buy us coffee and we're going to sit here and write Thanksgiving cards or thank you cards or whatever it is. I bet you'd have 10 to 12, 15 agents show up and say, this is a great idea. Let me block this time out to do this.
I love it. I love it.
Crazy. All right. So the big wrap up here, I think is a great couple sentences that I think, let systems make the process easier, faster, more reliable, while keeping the human support available when it matters most. Okay. And another way to think about it is, kind of with a plane. Okay.
Okay.
AI is the engine of the plane.
Okay.
The humans are the aerodynamics of the plane. Okay. Because in the human element, they talk a lot about building an airplane. And you build it with a big engine that needs fuel, right? But if you completely ignore the aerodynamics, then the friction is going to be there and the plane cannot fly. Right? So in real estate media, AI is a powerful engine, but local market nuance, authentic relationships, storytelling, and human curation are the aerodynamics that actually help take business to flight. Okay. So I think that's the best way that I could really sum up this topic. AI is great. Don't forget we're humans.
Yeah. Good.
Anything else to add, Craig?
Good topic. No, I mean, I felt
You feel
every part
better?
of
Like
that.
you shared in this moment of like,
Thank you for validating me, not fully embracing AI for everything, Shannon. Thank you. Yes, I feel much better.
Good. I do too. So
It's therapy, folks. This podcast could be therapy for you.
I think I agree. We used to joke when I was the team leader. I had a couch in my office and we called it the therapy couch. And I'd have agents rotating in and out, dumping life's issues and world problems. And we solved a lot of them. So it was a lot of fun. But yes, it definitely was a joke that I had a therapy couch in my office.
Did you ever see, total tangent here, some of you listening, watching, you've seen this, heard this. Have you ever seen the skit with Bob Newhart where he's a psychiatrist or psychologist and the lady comes in and there is the couch and she's like, should I sit? Oh, no, don't sit. Just sit there we don't do that here.
Yes.
we don't do the couch thing here, but
here, yes.
we'll just sit here in our chairs and we can
can, yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry. One of the funniest skits ever.
I love it. Well, Craig, as always, I love spending time with you. So,
Likewise.
And listeners, we love you so much. Thank you for being here and being the best part of the podcast in Spiro.
Absolutely. If you have your own stories of automation and AI versus the human element, just real life experiences. We love stories. share it in the YouTube comments, or feel free to drop us an email, hello@spiro.media. And we always invite you to submit topic ideas, business issues that you're facing in your personal business. And hey, how do I approach this particular situation? We see that in the Spiro super user group, and that's great. But we would love to talk about it on the podcast as well. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find somebody that does. All right.
That's right.
So again, hello@spiro.media. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Shannon, thank you. That was a great topic.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Now go conquer the rest of your day, sir.
I am going to. I've got some shoots lined up, so I'm going to skedaddle. But as we do and we get ready, we record these on Fridays, so we're getting ready for the weekend. I want, by the time you're hearing this, it's probably Wednesday. You're on the back half of the week, and we want you to get ready to enjoy some, a slower day or two with your family, your loved ones. Make sure you slow down a little bit, even in the midst of busy season. Take some time to be thankful for the blessings in your life, and make sure you take a breath. All right. Have a great week.
Thank you for joining us for the Spiro Podcast, Managing Your Real Estate Photography and Videography Business. This is a production of Spiro and Wow Video Tours. You can find out more about Spiro's real estate media business management software at our website, spiro.media.